Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes Reacts. I am Diplodocus.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Naz.
I thought you would have said Diplodocus.
No,
like...
I couldn't think of a single dinosaur then after you said that, so...
Not even T-Rex or pterodactyl.
Just wasn't there. I should have said Diplodocus.
That's a Diplodocus, mate.
I know.
And no one says it like that.
Some people do.
They don't. No, they
Some
don't.
people do.
No,
You and your family.
Oh, shit. Thought everyone did.
We are the Office Blokes, as you may have noticed. We've got 2 other YouTube channels, Patreon page, social media, merch, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Click the link below and it'll take you where you need to go. It's as simple as that, apart from to these, because they're not out yet, but they will be soon. And, we'll
And
let
the
you know.
beanies.
And the beanies.
Yeah.
Model as a beanie, Mike.
There we go, look at that. You'll be the first to know about it when they're ready, don't worry. Right, how maritime law works.
Yep.
Yeah. Strange one.
Well, because once you go past a certain boundary, you're in the open ocean, international waters. That's the one.
So
and then
maritime law is actually worldwide.
Yep,
Every
global.
single
It's a
country
global law.
adheres to it. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And there's these countries where you can get things like where gambling's not adhered to.
Yeah.
So what happens is you're not allowed to have a casino or anything like that. So you get on a ship or a boat and you cruise out into international waters, and then the fucking tables come down, all the croupiers come out, and then the next thing you're on a casino, only like 3 miles outside of Dubai, for example.
Right, with you.
gambling's illegal in a lot of America, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think that's one of the reasons why Las Vegas came to...
It's Vegas and New Jersey, is it?
Yeah.
New Jersey.
Atlantic City.
I don't know if it's still the
Atlantic
same,
City, that's
but
the one.
it's still a case. Absolutely no idea. But
Yeah, because I heard someone saying gambling has been legalised in New York recently. And I was like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
How has it not been legal the whole time?
Well,
I think you can bet. I think you can sports bet in most states on football games or whatever. But casinos and slot machines and stuff.
I was using casinos as an example because in the Middle East, we used to jump on boats and go in certain countries and go outside international waters, and again, bars would open up, and you'll be sat on a boat drinking, then you go back and dock, and
nice.
away you go.
Well, let's get into it. Maybe it'll touch on all that. How maritime law works. Let's do this.
I love making interesting videos. The most interesting topics are often exceptions, deviations from the norm. All of us live in countries where there are laws and rules and governing bodies telling us what we can and can't do. But 70% of the world is ocean, where there are no countries, no governing bodies to tell us what's right and wrong. That's why maritime law exists. Let's start with a hypothetical. A baby is born on a cruise ship sailing in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. What nationality does it take? This is the coast of some fictional place in some fictional country governed by some fictional government. From this line, which is the water line at the lowest low tide, every country is allowed 12 miles of territorial waters. It used to be 3 miles, the distance a cannon could shoot offshore, but that has since changed. Those 12 miles are the property of a country. They can do pretty much whatever they please in it, and all domestic laws apply. Foreign ships are, however, sometimes allowed to enter into these waters under the principle of innocent passage. If ships have an innocent purpose, which does not include fishing, polluting, weapons practice, or spying, they are allowed to pass through the territorial waters of a foreign nation without permission, as long as they do so quickly and without stopping on shore. Beyond the
That applies to you, Russia.
everyone.
Get out of our waters.
every week I'm reading about a Russian ship that's passing through the British Channel or whatever it is, and they've been being escorted now, and planes have been scrambled and shit. It's every week now.
I know. It's all the
Dicking
time,
with
isn't
us.
it?
Just bomb 'em.
It's posturing, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
just posturing exercise.
territorial waters, there's another 12 miles of the contiguous zone. This zone allows a country to enforce laws as long as they fall into one of 4 categories. If the laws have to do with customs, taxation, immigration, or pollution, they can be enforced in the contiguous zone. Beyond the contiguous waters is the exclusive economic zone, also known as the EEZ. This zone extends 200 nautical miles from shore. Beyond the territorial waters, the EEZ is in international waters. However, only the country who holds the exclusive economic zone has the right to harvest natural resources in the area. This law was originally set up to help with disputes over fishing rights, but has since been incredibly useful with the boom in oil drilling. All these laws do, however, occasionally cause some disputes due to overlapping zones. This is the South China Sea, an incredibly important waterway. Nearly 1/3 of the world's shipping traffic passes through it, and it reportedly has huge untapped oil reserves. China has this land, so it says it has all this water. Malaysia has this land, so it says it has all this water. Vietnam has this land, so it says it has all this water. Brunei has this land, so it says it has all this water. The Philippines has this land, so it says it has all this water. When two countries are less than 400 nautical miles away from each other, it's up to them to decide where their respective economic zones end. Most solve it civilly by separating the zones at the equidistant point from each of their shores. However, when the stakes are so high, such as in the South China Sea, countries can be a bit less cordial. So,
imagine saying to China, no, that's my water.
Yeah.
China don't have any zones.
Wow.
The world's air zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is, isn't it?
It's a bit like what we're going through with France with the fishing.
I was going to say with the fishing rights, because you look at the channel, is it about 24 miles
26
wide?
miles,
26,
I think,
is
isn't
it?
it? Something like that.
So obviously a lot of those are overlapping, aren't they? So
But don't we have...
We've got
Jersey.
Jersey, Guernsey, we've got the Channel Islands.
Yeah.
of course, yeah.
So then that should push our boundary
Further
closer.
Yeah. And that's the issue with when we left the EU. That was the issue over the fishing rights.
Yeah.
We're still at loggerheads with it.
Yeah.
Because France will still feel that they've
They
got the
come
fishing
in-
rights because
they're
they're
in the water, yeah.
in the same water, aren't they?
But they're French.
Yeah, so it should be ours.
Why don't we just tell them?
Yeah.
Fish and
So,
chips
oi.
is ours.
Yeah, they don't even do fish and chips with mushy peas, do they?
No. No, they turn their nose up at that.
£1.50.
cruise ship baby. Let's change the hypothetical and say that the cruise ship was sailing in US territorial waters, less than 12 miles away from shore. Every ocean-going vessel is required to be registered in some country. You'll notice that most large cruise ships are registered in tiny, faraway countries. Panama, a nation with fewer people than Minneapolis, holds the registration of 1/4 of the world's ships because taxes and labor are low.
I was going to say tax breaks.
Yeah.
No, we used to... Obviously, I was in this game for a long time. It wasn't me that queued this up, by the way. So
No, no, it was me,
It's
it was
interesting
me.
because I know quite a lot about it.
Yeah.
But do you want to know a quick story on a shipping incident in international waters that happened to me?
Go on.
And this was international news. We were in a boat race in Bahrain, and then they were sailing back from Bahrain to Dubai on the boat, and they asked me to join them, and I said no because I'm only a 45-minute flight going back to Dubai. So they went, no, it'd be good fun on you on the boat. You get a better understanding. It was a Louis Vuitton race we were going back for. It was not an extreme flight. It was a Volvo ocean race boat.
Right.
So I said no. Anyway, I flew back. The boat sailed back. The boat had a mechanical problem, and they dragged it into Iranian waters and arrested all the crew.
Jesus.
And I've got back to Dubai, went to meet the crew, and they never turned up. And then the story broke from people we know, and they'd all been arrested in Iran. So we started getting all the embassies involved and stuff like that to try and sort out the problem. And it broke about 2 weeks after on the news.
Right,
so I'd known for 2 weeks this had happened, but then it broke 2 weeks after, and they were still under arrest for 2 weeks in Iran.
Wow.
Did they get freed?
You might remember the story. They all had grey suits on. They kitted them all out in grey suits and were like, Iran have been treating us really well. One of them. Yeah.
Reading off a sheet.
Yeah. So if I'd have been on that boat, I'd have been in that.
You'd have been
there.
in
that drama.
Wow.
Yeah.
You survived that one, didn't you?
But they dragged it into Iranian water. They dragged the boat into Iranian waters.
So they could
They
arrest
said
them.
towed it to safety, but they dragged it across the Iranian so they could arrest them. Yeah.
Wow. You should write a book about your near misses.
What to do then? They confiscate the shipping and probably stuck it on Iranian eBay, didn't they?
No, I don't. I think they got the boat. I think the boat was recovered. I can't remember. It was ages ago now. It was about.
They would have accused them of being spies, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Always the way, isn't it?
Wow.
When a ship is in international waters, the laws of the country of registration apply. A ship registered in Amsterdam could legally have prostitution and marijuana on board, as long as they got rid of the drugs and shut down the brothels before sailing into territorial waters. Once a ship is in the territorial waters of a country, the onboard laws switch to that of the country the ship is physically in. This is the same for nationality law. Kinda. A baby born on a Dutch ship within 12 miles of the US is a baby born in America. Since the US is one of the 30...
So all of this, build a big wall to stop Mexicans coming in and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Get on a boat within 12 miles of the coast, have your baby, and they're an American citizen.
You try and get 12 miles of the coast from Mexico to what's it illegally?
Yeah, that's probably another kettle of fish, that one, isn't it? Yeah.
All you have to do is cross the boundary as the baby comes out, and then he's an American citizen, you can't do anything.
Yeah, you're sat there on your fucking two-man kayak. Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's pretty extreme, I'm not going to lie.
In the Gulf of Mexico, impending fucking hurricanes and everything like that fucking showering down on you. And you're like going, push, push, I'm pushing. No, you're pulling.
Bloke rowing legs akimbo on the other end of the boat. And
you could put the oars, put the oars between the toes and row.
Yeah, maybe I didn't think that one through.
No, we didn't.
It's definitely interesting though, because I'm thinking about, it looks like they're going to legalise weed federally across the US at some point, because it's state by state it's happening. So in international waters, American registered weed ships basically that are off countries, and people are going on cruises and they're getting all the tax revenue and everything for that. There's like, why aren't governments cleverer about getting revenue?
I think they are.
Every country's got these big deficits they talk about and stuff. They
just got to figure out how to tax it.
Yeah.
And how to make it so it's not doesn't fly under the radar without getting taxed to the extent. Once they figure that out, everything will be legal.
Yeah.
Don't matter what you do. If they can tax you off of it, fucking...
And make enough money out of it.
I remember when I lived in the Middle East, and it was the same thing with alcohol. You could only have a certain amount of alcohol on your licence per month, until they realised that alcohol, when the oil price dropped, the alcohol sales and tax you can get on alcohol was miles more than oil.
Yeah.
And they all went, hang on a minute.
Hold on. Yeah.
So the next thing, alcohol, there was no limit then.
Yeah.
Reduce the limit, and then away you go, fucking free for all.
It's out the whole country when it suits, innit?
Yeah.
Countries that unconditionally grant citizenship to any baby born within the country. A baby born in U.S. territorial waters is lucky enough to receive the world's 8th most powerful passport. There are 2 exceptions to this rule. Foreign diplomats visiting or living in the U.S. with a diplomatic passport are not subject to the laws of the U.S. or any other nation other than their own. Consequentially, the babies of foreign diplomats do not automatically receive American citizenship. Additionally, the babies of individuals staging a hostile invasion or occupation of American territory are not granted American citizenship upon birth. Here's where things get even more confusing. Even though a ship in international waters is an extension of the territory of the nation it's registered in law-wise, the rules for nationality are different. The United Nations Treaty on the Reduction of Statelessness, which is followed by some countries, says that a baby born in international waters should just take the nationality of their parents. Most of the world's countries use this principle of bloodline to determine if a baby should get citizenship rather than whether or not a baby was born in the country. However, there are some countries that won't give citizenship to a baby born outside the country. In that case, the baby would take the citizenship of the country in which the ship was registered. Alright, that's enough with babies. There's a long history of exploiting maritime laws. During Prohibition, U.S. ships started to change their registration to Panama and other foreign countries so they could serve alcohol in international waters. In the mid-century, casino boats left from many cities where gambling was illegal to partake in legal gambling in international waters. In 2005, entrepreneur Roger Green started Seacode, a company that planned to evade U.S. labor laws by placing an old cruise ship 12 miles off the coast of California. They would bring in foreign coders and house them in this ship, where they would not have to abide by U.S. wage laws or go through the difficult visa application process.
Wow.
The idea never came to fruition, but the technical legality of it just shows how convoluted maritime law is.
That's so scummy, isn't it?
It's proper loopholes. There's loopholes in everything, though, isn't there?
Of course, there's always someone that'll find it as well.
We touched on the casinos and the beer cruises.
Yeah.
I remember. I might get this wrong, and I'll probably get slated in the comments, but there was a thing with Donald Trump before he was president, where he was, I think, when he was running, and he was saying we're going to bring manufacturing back to the US, and I think he had a tie on that was made by one of his companies. And they said, where was that made? And it was made in Indonesia or something. So he's obviously guilty of going to the cheapest bidder as well. But it's like, bring manufacturing back. And but that is a special level of, that's slave labour.
It's loopholes. It's not slave labour, it's loopholes that you can get through. That you're giving chance to other people as well. I mean, what you got to remember, some of these people come from countries where there's no, it's rock bottom. It's shit. So they get the chance to go and earn £5 a day, where they're getting £5 a month, where they're coming from, and they get accommodation and everything else. It's an upgrade. I know it's shit. I don't agree with it.
It's still exploiting them massively, though, isn't it?
Of course, it's exploitation.
Instead of giving them like a proper living wage.
It's also taking jobs off people that are indigenous to the country because you want to undercut them.
You can look at both ways, can't you?
I get that, but if you've got a working labour now, right, where they're paying someone to make a TV in China and they're paying them £15 an hour minimum wage, your TV is going to cost you fucking thousands.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
and then all of a sudden your wage that you're getting isn't enough to buy them TVs.
Listen, we're all complicit in it, aren't we? We all want
absolutely.
cheap. We all want cheap products, don't we? And we don't think we had.
You don't want cheap products. You want good products that are made. Less expensive.
Yeah.
If iPhones were made by people who were paid the national living wage from this country, I'd love to know the metric of how much it'd actually cost
probably double it,
to buy that. It'd be more than double.
Yeah, it'd be
more than double. I guarantee it.
A hell of a lot more.
Absolutely. You've got to take that into consideration. I know it's not fair and it's not good.
Yeah.
But when it starts hurting you, then you'll realise, what have we done here?
Yeah. Nope,
we need that. We need them.
It's so complicated, isn't it? It really is.
It's like people going about China. Everyone needs China, don't they? We're all moan about China doing this, doing that, and doing the other, but the amount of goods that we buy from there, and we buy them from there because they're cheap.
Because the prisoners are made to make toys and shit, manufacture.
Yeah,
probably. So you can buy a I don't know, a Mattel toy or whatever it may be from China.
Allegedly.
For fucking 26p, and then you sell it for $4.99, and everyone's a winner.
Yeah. They make our medicines and our bullets. Incidentally.
Oh, wow.
I don't give a fuck. Make it all.
The laws for airplanes are pretty much the same. Technically, once an airplane has taken off, the laws of the country of registration apply. The only law that applies and differs among countries is the drinking age. A British Airways flight from New York to London can serve alcohol to 18-year-olds. However, in most cases, airlines choose to follow the laws of the origin country. Spacecraft also follow very similar laws, and luckily, I have a whole other video just about space law. Make sure to check it out here. You can also click here to subscribe to Wendover Productions and follow me on Twitter.
That was really interesting. Yeah,
it was well put together.
It was really good.
I enjoyed that.
Interesting, concise.
Can't click on the.
Wasn't overly complicated or anything, was it?
No,
it's good.
It's like I say, I've known quite a lot of the maritime law anyway from the industry.
It's your business,
before,
wasn't it? So
I was in that business for 30 odd years, whatever it was, 30 years, and it's very, very complicated.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Especially with ships registration, people coming in. Especially when we used to meet ships, and you accommodate the crew.
Yeah.
So you have to put your hotel, the crew. You have to go through visas, passports, everything, and sometimes you always get one guy on board that comes from a fucking country you've never heard of, and you're like, where the fuck's that? Vanuatu.
Yeah.
You're like, mate, I'm not even sure you're allowed out of your country.
I'm not even sure it is a country.
That's it. Yeah.
I think it's mad that if you take the example of the UK and America, we're such close allies and so tied together in a lot of ways. But it's 21 to drink over there, it's 18 to drink over here. And the fact that there'd be a difference where an 18-year-old American can get on a British Airways flight and then suddenly can get booze legally when they leave the airspace or whatever. It seems mad we don't just agree on what age we can all drink. Something as simple as that.
It's like that with any law in the world, isn't it? About a law for dropping litter, a law for breaking and entering. They're all different all across the world, aren't they? So
it's just, I'm sure, because I'm sure people in America drink from 15, 16.
I was in the pub last night. I had my son with me, he was 18. He had a beer. They never asked him for ID or anything like that. Obviously, they know who I am in there.
Yeah. Plus, you're in the nice bit. They don't want to offend you.
But no, this was it was in the nice pub in Hale.
Yeah,
I was in the railway. But they know him. But these kids in there. I look round at other kids that come in. I'm thinking, I'm not sure you're 18, mate, but it's not my fight. I'm thinking, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
If you want to drink, that's up to you. It's down to the pub to ID them and do whatever you want to do. It's nothing to do with me.
The older we get, the younger them not look. I mean, we were probably like that as well.
Yeah.
When I first started going at 8, I couldn't get a drink before I was 18 because I looked so young.
Really?
I couldn't get in the pub.
Prohibition, mate.
And 18, I had to go in with the prohibition. I had to go in. I had my birth certificate for about 2-3 years in my pocket every time I went out. Obviously, I couldn't get served because I looked too young. All my mates, all my mates,
18 what?
From about 16 to 18, I was
got his quill out.
About 16 to 18, I was billing home mates. All my mates are in the pub. I couldn't get served.
See, I was like that when the smoking ban came in because I'd given up smoking, and suddenly all my mates are outside the pub, and I'm sat in there on my own. Like,
yeah. I get that, yeah.
I started drinking in pubs when I was 13.
Yeah, same.
That was the first time I went in a pub.
Was it?
Age 13.
I had a beard like this when I was 13.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I can't grow one now.
I was a very early developer. Yeah.
I wasn't. I don't know how I got away with it, but it was my bro's 16th birthday, I think it is, and he took me out to a pub where he was a regular with all of his mates.
Yeah.
And I was 13 when I went in.
Pub law.
Yeah,
that's what we want on that video. Pub law. We need to get pub law on there. Yeah.
So
Pub. Do you know what you need is what you call it? Etiquette. Pub etiquette.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do a video on. Pub etiquette.
Maybe we
that'd be
should.
good.
We were talking about branching out to other things at some point. It'd be good to do videos like
That'd
that.
be fun. Yeah, that'd be
Anyway, we're diverting.
good. That.
Yeah, very good. I hope you enjoyed that too. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the bell. We'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.